Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.
Anyway, I'm just gonna go and make my signature red curry sauce. And I'll tell you what, it's incredible. It's simple. It's a recipe that I'd say, bish bash bosh, you done. So yeah, let's start. Now, of course, I've got my sunglasses on because I am suffering from hay fever. My eyes are just infected. It's just terrible. I sound like I'm all moaning, but I know that when I make this red curry, it's going to cheer me up. This is exactly what I'm going to do. Cheer myself up. You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely. So my name is Fafa, and welcome to my creative cooking channel, Ndudu by Fafa. Let's go to the kitchen. I've placed my saucepan on a medium to high heat, and I'm going to melt my coconut oil. Now to that, I'm adding my lamb chops. They were in the freezer. I didn't allow it to thaw entirely because I need it slightly frozen in the middle because of course I'm going to brown and sear the outside and all that smokiness, and by the time I add it to the curry, it means that the insides would also cook and melt and just be so nice. Now if I cook it or I bring it up to room temperature, what it then means, it will be overcooked. So there's a reason for my madness because I need that lamb chop to be moist, and when you bite into it, it's just filled with that juice. So I'm getting that smokiness on the outer part of it, and you get that little beautiful crust, and inside is just going to permeate and absorb the flavors of the curry that I'm going to be talking about next. Now this process of sort of searing it in that high heat to give that smoky flavor, that takes about 7 to about 10 minutes. Keep an eye on it. Make sure your extractor fan is on, or open your window if you don't have one, just to ensure, because it's going to be smoky, but we need that smokiness. It's all about the flavor. This is not any other food. This is Ndudu by Fafa. Okay, me no sitting. Hey. Now moving on to my next stage of the sauce, where the flavor and the shenanigans begins. You notice that I've got my red peppers that I am grilling on a live fire. If you do have your charcoal, you can grill this on your charcoal, which would just be incredible because it would add that extremely amazing smoky flavor. So of course you can use one habanero chili, or you can use your Thai chili or the African bedside chili. The amount of chili you use comes down to your own preference. I've got my garlic, and I've got my onions that, of course, as I said, I have grilled it. And I am also grilling my ginger. Now that gives it an incredible flavor. I learned this process when I went to Vietnam. So yes, I do fusion cooking. Every experience becomes part of the way I cook. I learn and I pick the best, I guess, and put it all together and amalgamate it into this Ndudu by Fafa shenanigans and get you off 2019. Alumi Mali, absolutely. So what this does is it gives this ginger the smokiness, and it makes it a little bit sweeter, not as sharp. So yes, now that this is cooking, I'm going to move back to my lamb chops and just check that it's incredible. And that is searing just nicely. So I've just got another 2 minutes of this because I just need to turn it. Now you notice that the lamb chops has the fatty side on the other side. So make sure that you're searing that part as well, so that the fat would render itself into the oil that you're using. But now I'm not going to be discarding the oil. I am going to be using this oil as my base for my curry as well. So of course, all the ingredients that I've mentioned in making my sauce, I'm going to be blending all of that together. Now when I do blend it together, what I tend to do is just reserve it in a mason jar and put it in the fridge or freeze it. So as and when a recipe requires it, I do use it. So this base really goes a long way for me, and sometimes it does keep for about a week in the fridge anyway. But then again, if you love cooking the way I do, it's a few days will be. Now, of course, I'm going to be adding my beautiful creamy Guinean peanut paste to my mixture. And for that aromatic flavor, so I'm going to be adding my lemongrass. So the next step is scoop about 4 tablespoonfuls of your pepper mixture, 2 tablespoonfuls of your creamy peanut paste, add your lemongrass, add a little bit of water and blend that into a smooth consistency. So now I've got that smokiness in that oil, and I'm going to be adding my blended peanut and chili sort of smoky flavor, which is infused ankasa into it. And I'm going to allow this to simmer just so. And of course, I don't like any waste, which is exactly what I keep talking about. So guess what? I do rinse the blender. So any residue is just added back into my saucepan. Yeah, it's all money. Don't want to waste food and waste money. Anyway. After simmering gently on that medium to low heat for about 15 minutes, it's now time for me to add my lamb chops, that beautiful smoky lamb chops. And as I said, it's smoky on the outside and it's crusty. And now I'm just going to allow this on that medium heat to allow the sauce to infiltrate into that meat so that fusion of flavors just occurs. So you see that whole peanutty base, spicy base thing and smokiness and the ginger that was smoked as well. That entire flavor is just going to permeate through this. And this will take about 3 minutes because I don't want to overcook the meat, remember. You want your lamb chops to still be tender and moist and just so. Now I'm going to be adding my coconut milk. Now, what I tend to do with my coconut milk when I do buy it in the tin, I refrigerate it. Reason is it allows me to just use the milk if a recipe just requires the milk. And if I do need the water, then I can include the water. So in this case, yes, I mixed it and I was like, okay, this is a little bit too thick because I just decided to use the milk. But then I was like, now I have to include the juice. So that's exactly what I've done. And I'm just going to let this simmer yet again for about 3 to 4 minutes as I move on to my next infusion. So for that umami flavor, I'm adding about half a teaspoonful of my fish sauce. Now, this is readily available in most supermarkets, and the fish sauce is made out of fish that is fermented in salt for about 2 years and is the liquid that just works. So if you do have a little bit of Kobe or momone, you can use that, absolutely. In the absence of all of this, what you can do is add a little bit of locust beans or dawa dawa. That works perfectly, which is actually the fermented locust beans. Yes, absolutely. So now this looks incredible. Usually by now it will be raining onions, and all my shenanigans, but I have to, take care of my girlfriend because she is, a bit on the fussy side. So I've omitted the onions, but then again, I've grilled the onions and I've blended it and added that to it. So the flavor is not compromised at all. But instead, I'm actually using these green peppers. And because they have that slight bitterness to it and that crunch, that just works perfectly for me for this recipe. And with this, I'm just going to allow it to simmer just for about a minute because I don't want to overcook anything. I just don't want everything to be so and just perfect. Now, of course, I'm going to be adding my aromatics because this is the time that you do add your herbs. If you add your herbs earlier, the flavors do go. So I've got my basil, which is going to add that sweetness and aromatic flavor to it. And I've also got some coriander that just works perfectly with this kind of dish. This is not any other food. Oh, it's raining basil and coriander now sitting. It's a sin to do by Fafa. You can't say I'm not taking care of you guys. I am. Okay, Minnie. Oh, nah. Now you've got that flavor packed in all natural flavors, of course. Red curry sauce. Now you need the best rice to accompany that. You've got a beautiful sticky rice. You've got, the sort of jasmine rice infused in the wacha leaf. I mean, you're spoiled for choice. Now, naturally, I believe in the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog in Ndudu by Fafa.blogspot.com. So you need to check it out. By the way, if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, I don't know what you're waiting for, and the notification button, which means that each time I upload a video, you are notified of it and you do not miss a thing. Please do so in my notification gang. Guys, we love you. I'm also available on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter as Ndudu by Fafa. Do pass by and say hi. And also, do check my previous recipe, which is this incredible Black Venus rice, which is so nutty, which I served with this amazing and to die for scallops. How to cook that scallop just perfectly. crusty and moist. You know what this channel is about. It's all about the infusion. Absolutely. And I hope I have given you reason to click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Now, until next time, you take care of you. You be beautiful. You be gorgeous, because I love you for you. And yes, I appreciate you. Take care of you. Mwah.